Alright, I'm here with a brand new pickup video. Pretty good one, going over some pretty nice stuff. I got some trade credit buys because I had a ton of trade credit saved up. Some cool new releases, some good pawn shop finds, final garage sale finds of the year. Some really solid stuff all around. I'll jump into some of the new release stuff I got first. Got here Cadence of Hyrule for the Switch. This is the physical edition. This game came out last year as a eShop game, and then now this is like a complete version with all the DLC. I played it on the Switch digital when it came out. I am a Zelda collector. I'm trying to have every game complete in box if possible. This is part of the collection, so obviously picked it up. The soundtrack of this game is awesome. It's like a bunch of really great remixes of Zelda games. Not huge on the gameplay. This is, if you're not aware, Crypt of the Necrodancer is an indie game. It's like a roguelike where you move around with the beat of music. I'm not really into roguelikes that much, so it doesn't do too much for me, but the music's incredible. Really, really cool game. Even if I'm not too into roguelikes, still a really cool game. Really cool idea. I'd give it a shot, especially if you're a Zelda fan. And if you don't want to shell out the money, YouTube playlist of the soundtrack is well worth a listen. I picked up here as well for the Switch Pikmin 3 Deluxe. This one just came out today as the time of me recording this. I used trade credit to pick this up, so I have essentially nothing into it. I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to this one. I've been kind of itching to play Pikmin lately, so this kind of came out at the right time, but I'm just not sure when I'm going to get around to it with PS5 right around the corner. But this is a great game. It was awesome on the Wii U. One of the Wii U's best for sure. Definitely underappreciated. Don't pass this one up because it's really great. Then I picked this one up as well. I think this is probably going to end up getting somewhat hard to find when it's all said and done. This is Robotics Notes Double Pack. So it comes with both games in the Robotics Notes series. This is the first time they've ever been released over here, localized in the West. This is, if most people are probably familiar with Steins Gate, this is like the same series. I think it's they're called the Science Adventure series, and I recently got into Steins Gate and really liked it, so I figured I'd give this a shot. So pretty cool to have that one. I don't know. I just feel like if I'm kind of like, I'm not sure when I'm going to get to this one either, but I'm kind of feel at this point that games like this are going to probably get hard to find just because end of the PS4 lifespan, more niche game. I feel like it's just going to end up getting hard to find, so I just nabbed it now before that happens. But I'm going to get to it at some point because I'm really into. I played Steins Gate like a month ago. I was really into it. So yeah, I'll move into my other finds now. Got some clearance games from Walmart. I don't really like Walmart too much, but I try to check in there every once in a while because they do actually have some pretty decent clearance. You can tell that they just want to get rid of stuff a lot of times without really asking too much for it. It definitely varies per store. I go to some that have the same exact games for different prices. I recommend you get the Walmart app, and you can scan prices. Some stuff they don't even put clearance stickers on, but definitely worth a check if there's a Walmart nearby. Sometimes they will have some solid clearance stuff. So I got a few things. The sticker's not on this one anymore because I took it off, but I got here Mega Man 0ZX Legacy Collection. This was $9.50. I already have this on Switch, so I'll probably just put this one up on eBay and pay off the other games here that I picked up. This one is either funny or sad, depending on who you talk to, but I got here now 2 copies of Anthem for $1 each. Yes, $1 each. Game that came out from EA last year is for a full $60. Is already down to $1 at the Walmart, so kind of sad. Bought those for cases just because it's not always the easiest task to get cases for the PS4 that are in good shape for cheap. You can buy some sports games, but they usually have the stupid sticker on them. So I just bought those for cases. Then I picked this one up for my own collection. I heard this one was pretty good, and I wanted to check it out when it came out last year because I got great reviews, but I just never got to it. But it is Control. This was $7.50, as you can see. I might need to use one of those cases on here. There's some messed up parts there. I'm not sure if that's going to come out, or if that's even in the case itself, or if it's just on the plastic, but it looks like it might just be on the plastic, but we will have to see. But yeah. So just a quick update on those Walmart games, filming this one a little later. I opened the control up just to see if the case was damaged on the like the actual artwork or if it was just the seal. And I noticed the seal looked kind of weird. I was like, all right, this looks like a weird seal, but I thought, you know, no big deal. It's, you know, 505 Games is not the biggest publisher. I've noticed some different publishers will have slightly different seals that aren't quite as nice sometimes. So I figured, oh, you know, 505 Games, not the biggest publisher. Maybe their seal's not so nice. But I opened this up to a really nice surprise here. Blank CDR disc. So I guess I paid $7.50 for a control case and a blank CDR disc. I got the DLC at least, some kind of DLC code. So yes, I guess I don't get to add this to my collection. I get a blank CDR disc. So thanks a lot, Walmart. Someone must have resealed that and scammed Walmart. And they were not quite smart enough to pick up on that. Thought that was kind of funny. I guess really not that funny because I just lost $7.50. I don't think they're going to take that back since I opened the game up. I'm not going to think that they're going to believe me that the game came with an empty CDR disc. So I'm not going to even probably try to bother. As far as clearance games that I hopefully didn't get ripped off from, this one was from Best Buy then. I saw this actually on their website, under their clearance stuff on their website. They had a bunch of stuff. It seems like they're trying to clear up space. I found Metal Wolf Chaos XD on there for $5.99, which is pretty cool. This is an old From Software game. It was only ever released in Japan on the original Xbox. It's like a crazy mech game where you play as the President of the United States. So sounds like a good time. It finally got released over here for PS4. So I'm going to check that one out. It was one I meant to get when they first put out a physical copy, and I never did. But I think it came out originally like $30. So I guess I'm glad I got it for $6 instead. If that sounds interesting to you, it's probably still up on Best Buy's website. So maybe give it a look there. I got maybe what may be my final garage sale finds of the year. I'm going to probably guess they're going to be my final garage sale finds of the year. But they're pretty cool. I went to a sale that said they had video games, mostly Xbox 360 stuff. It was like a Thursday morning. I had nothing to do that day. I figured, you know what? Why not? It's 15 minutes away. I'll check it out. And a pretty good sale. It was one of those sales that was just a kind of a shame because it was all pretty decent game stuff. If the games were like $1 or $2 each, I would have probably picked up everything. But the lady wanted $5 each on them, so I had to be a bit more selective. I ended up getting them. I got 5 games. I ended up getting 5 for $20. But I would have probably picked up everything if they were a lot cheaper, because you could tell that she had some decent taste in games, but it just, a lot of them, you know, not worth picking up for $5. So going to what I got here. Infinite Undiscovery. This is an old Square Enix RPG that was exclusive to the Xbox 360. Some people might know it for the really embarrassing dinner scene where the little boys yell dinner, dinner. It's one of the most infamous lines in video games, so I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. Another Square Enix RPG, The Last Remnant. Picked this one up. I picked up a copy of this earlier in the year, but it was in pretty rough shape. So I figured I'd pick it up for my own collection. Then some Castlevania games. We got Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. And strangely enough, Castlevania Collection, which is, to my knowledge, Lords of Shadow. Okay, so it's Lords of Shadow 1 and then Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate HD, to my knowledge. So, kind of strange that she owned 2 copies of Lords of Shadow, to my knowledge, but still good to get. I have this on PS3, actually. I thought it came with both Lords of Shadow games, but I'll probably just flip this to play this off for the most part, but interesting little stack of 360 games for $20 there. Can't really go wrong with that one. Went out to a pawn shop in an area not too far away from me, and because I wanted to go trade in some stuff. I traded in a bunch of extra garage sale stuff, a bunch of controllers that I got this year I had no use for. And while I was waiting, I went to some other places. I ended up getting like $375 in trade credit for all these controllers and all these crappy games. So Maybe something exciting in the works, perhaps. I don't know. Hopefully, I'll get something good with that. That credit in the coming videos, but I don't have anything in the works. So I went to a pawn shop, though. Got some games. $1.99 each on these ones. I got Blaze Blue Continuum Shift. This one I'll add to my collection. I always like the Arc System Works fighting games are always pretty solid, so that'll be cool to have. For PS3, I got God of War Ascension. Just Dance 2015 for the Wii. The Just Dance games on the Wii, with the 2015 is obviously pretty late into the Wii lifespan, considering the Wii U came out in 2012. I found that these start doing pretty well. You can for flipping, and there you see them everywhere. So this one could be like a $12 game on eBay around there. So worth a shot trying to find these. These are pretty popular, and since COVID, they've kind of spiked in price a little bit. And then for $1.99, I found a copy of Twilight Princess on the Wii as well. So not a bad find there at all. Just another retro game I got. Got this through a hookup from my dad, of all people. Someone at his work had some N64 stuff and was willing to sell a game he didn't need anymore. I paid fairly for this. I got it for a bit under retail. I got Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, which I don't have this one going for the full set. This is not one I'm likely to see in a garage sale, and always gets overpriced at stores, so just good to have it, and paid pretty fairly for that one, so can't complain too much. So then I went up to Cleveland. I hit a couple of my local game stores. So what I did, I mentioned in my last part, I took a bunch of stuff last week to one of my local game store chains and just traded it all in. It was a big box of controllers, and then a big box of just random games. And I got $375 in credit. I already had $30 in credit. So I went into the day, figured I'd hit a couple of these stores, went into the day with $405 of credit. So, have a pretty fun day ahead of me. I got some good stuff out of it. All from the same store, actually. I actually struck out two of the stores that I do usually pretty well at. I struck out pretty badly at, and I was like, oh, did I waste my, waste half of a day driving up to Cleveland? It's not too far of a drive, but, going all over, waste maybe 6 hours around, 6-hour trip of going to all these different stores and everything when it's all said and done and coming back. So a little concerned, but I ended up doing pretty nicely. Definitely helping out the N64 collection. I'm missing about 50 games now for the complete N64, or I think 44, right around 50 for the complete American N64 collection. I still have my work cut out for me, but picked up some titles here. Surprisingly, this is a game that I did never find and I did not have. I have the box and manual for it, so now I can complete it. Pilot Wings 64. This one was 15, if it's gonna, there we go. 15 on that one. The trade credit stuff, I always say it on the channel. Trade credit stuff is when I buy bundles. I keep what I want from the bundle. I sell whatever's left on eBay that's worth selling on eBay to make my money back. And then whatever's not worth selling on eBay goes in the trade box. So I always consider this stuff, when I document how much I paid for it, I consider it as pretty much free, because it really is. Got here, this one's actually pretty difficult to come by in my experience. I never see this one. I got here Hot Wheels. This is about on retail, but I never see this game. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. And then this is another one I don't see as much. This will need a back replacement, but this game, pretty decent price on Space Invaders for N64. So I'll grab that one as well. And then I grabbed two games in the box here. The condition's not bad. They're not great, but one of them was 40 and one was 50. I think this one was 40 for Bust a Move R2 Arcade Edition. So I never see these cards hardly, let alone the boxes. So these were complete. Very glad to get that one. And then also got Bust a Move 99 here. So also nice to get. So that was good. And as I walked in, I saw this game here. Not an N64 game, but I saw this up at the... usually they put all their good stuff like up front in like a cabinet. And I saw this and I was like, that's an immaculate condition. That's great. And I just was looking at it. And I was like, $120 on this is a good price. I'd like to get it for the collection. And I went up and, pretty much got it. I was paying for my other stuff with my card. I skipping ahead. Kept looking at it, and I was like, yeah, can I see that? And I picked this up as well. So for 120, I got a complete in-box copy of Donkey Kong Country 3. I already have Donkey Kong Country 2 in the box. I got the box and manual from my cousin back from his Super Nintendo collection when he was younger. And now I got 3 complete. So I just got to get the first one. I already have a 3 cart. I've only ever come across this game once in my entire, history of looking for games and collecting. Obviously, I've seen it other in stores, but, as far as finding it in the wild, I've only ever found it once. And this is just great shape. I have it in a box protector. That's why there's some reflectiveness if you can't tell. But this was really late release N64 game. I believe it came out, or Super Nintendo game. I believe it came out the same year as N64 came out. So 96, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So not one you see very often. Really happy to have that one in the collection. I really like Donkey Kong Country 3. I know sometimes it gets some hate because Kiddy Kong sucks, but I think it's still one of the, really good entry in the series. So cool to have that as well. And that is it for that trip. I still have over $140 in trade credit, so maybe I'll find some more stuff soon enough, but pretty good stuff here today. Definitely helping with the N64 set, so that's always good to see. And another cool game to add to the boxed Super Nintendo collection. It's been a while since I got that. Anything for that. So I'd like to thank you for watching then. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below with what you've been able to pick up lately, any questions you might have for me, and any video recommendations that you may have for, topics that you'd like me to talk about. I know I ask for these a lot, and sometimes I don't always do them. Usually it's because I just don't think I can fill a whole video with about a way to talk about that. So maybe I'll do another Q&A at the end of the year. But yeah, just any comments with that. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I probably already said that. Subscribe if you're already subscribed. Follow me on Twitter at ObjoGaming, and I will see you next time.